What's up, everyone? The AI landscape is changing by the hour, and there's a new update coming almost every hour. And I'm not exaggerating it. I'm keeping a track of all this stuff. This week has been a crazy one. However, the thing is that the latest updates as of today and the most important ones I'm gonna share with you in this video. And the focus of this channel is to give you updates that actually matter. It's not gonna be very technical like coding and that sort of stuff. However, the things that a regular AI user would find interesting or could benefit from, I'm going to share those because these are the ones that I'm keeping a track of. And in this video, we are going to be focusing on the GPT-2 image model by OpenAI, which hasn't been released. However, we have been seeing leaked images of that model, and then the Google's Gemma 4. The thing is, people are obsessed with OpenClaw. However, this is something that is readily accessible and doesn't require the type of setup that you would have for OpenClaw. Then we also are aware that OpenAI is going to release their 5.5 version, GPT 5.5, and they are calling it Spud. However, it possibly could be GPT-6 as well, but the possibility is that it's GPT 5.5. And without further ado, let's get into these details. Now, I'm gonna share with you some leaked images of the GPT-Image-2 model of OpenAI, which I think is far better than the latest Nano Banana model that also came out quite recently. And look at this human anatomy anterior view. Okay, you see, this is generated by the GPT-Image-2 model, and it has like a deeper understanding of our world, and I think that's why it's able to make these sorts of images as you see. Then there's a earth map, a physical map. As you see, it has well sketched out the map. I don't think there could be any discrepancy in like what's actual and in this generation. Now this is a picture which seems like someone could have clicked from their mobile. This is Bath and Body Works shop, and it seems like pretty genuine to me, like a original photo. Now this is a YouTube home screen screenshot, and this is actually generated with this model. And if you look at it, it seems like quite realistic. And discussing about this model, how these images are coming out well on Arena. The code name for this model is maskingtape-alpha, gaffertape-alpha, and packingtape-alpha. I've seen these names from other content creators on AI, so this seems like legit information. Now this handwritten note, this also seems quite realistic, like someone has actually written this instead of an AI. However, the thing is that there could be something off in the writing or like the flow. But however, this is like pretty good, I would say. So this is a good step forward in this AI image generation landscape. Now this is supposed to be like a representation of a game. We have Claude headquarters. If you see the fonts, they are like pretty consistent across the text over here, and possibly here as well. And we aren't sure what the prompt was for this certain generation or how much detailed this prompt was, but this seems pretty good. You see, there are details that have been laid out, like the text is pretty fine, and then the elements of this whole picture, like someone is joining the game, and then the health bar and this sort of stuff. This does give the vibe of like a screenshot from a game. This is also some screenshot generated with AI of a desktop. And if you see this, it's also quite interesting because you see it has Sam Altman, it has Elon Musk, and it also has the Claude CEO, Dario Amodei. Oh, I said Claude CEO, but actually the CEO of Anthropic, which has the Claude model. That is the more accurate thing to say. So this seems quite interesting as you can see. And this is also like a generated version of the Steam website. And I think like this model is doing a pretty fine job. And then someone generated this picture where there's Sam Altman along with her in the picture. So the prompt possibly was young woman taking selfie with Sam Altman. So with minimal prompting, you see this seems quite realistic. The face features of Sam Altman and even this lady, she doesn't seem like AI generated. So this is super impressive. Now the realism of this model, I think that is over the top. You see, this seems like a real picture that anyone could have taken. And this also seems like a real picture. Interesting. Someone has generated this image, and although I would say that this doesn't feel 100% realistic, but I would still give it 95. And well, this section mostly gives off that non-realistic vibe because of this, you see. However, it has made it like pretty in a pretty decent manner. There's a shadow, then there's a light passing through this water, and then there's a reflection of a cat. There's also some text called Mina at 9. So the model is doing a very good job, I would say. And it's only about time that we get our hands on this model, and the word knowledge that it has will be able to generate a lot of interesting stuff. Now, this one is supposed to be a funny one. Someone has actually coded a whip that actually makes the Claude faster. Now, there's a public link for this. It's open source, but let me just play and show it to you. There you go, the whip in action. Interesting. This seems interesting, and it's actually, you can see over here it's written faster speed, speed it up clanker, faster clanker, faster faster go. So it's actually making Claude go faster. And this is the GitHub link if someone wants to install it. So you'd be able to see the link on the screen, and I would try to put it down in the comments as well. But this was kind of funny and interesting. I thought I'd share it with you. I'm coming across a lot of stuff that people are putting out there, and maybe someone might find it super cool to use. Now, this is something that I found interesting. Gemma 4 by Google, they have just dropped it, and like you see, we have OpenClaw. You can run it locally. Similarly, you can run this one also locally on your phone as well. So Ivan on X, he has made a very good breakdown along with the tutorial. So would not have to bother going and doing a tutorial on our own. We can leave it for a separate video. However, the thing is that let me first go through the summary of it, and then I'll share the video with you as well. So it can run offline, no internet required, no subscription, and no data is leaving your device. That is, well, pretty interesting. So it's called Google AI Edge Gallery. You'll have to download it from the App Store or the Play Store. So it can run the AI chat on your phone, works in airplane mode, text, image, and audio support, and then it has agent skills that complete tasks on their own. That is what OpenClaw also has, and Claude as well. So skills are like important components of agents. As we move forward in this agentic era, skills are like the pillars that are keeping these that are supporting the weight of these agents. So then it's 100% open source code on GitHub, and then works with Gemma E2B. Okay. So how to set it up? So download Google AI Edge Gallery from App Store or Play Store. Open it and pick AI chat. Choose Gemma E2B if your phone has less RAM, or E4B if you have 8 GB plus RAM. Start chatting. That's it. Now this is how it's supposed to look, and let's see this quick tutorial. So it seems like it could do pretty much anything which any other model will be able to do. But I must say that if you are a normal user of AI, this will work pretty fine for you. You might not have to pay for any chat GPTs or Google products or even Claude. So if you are a heavy user, I would say just test it out. I'm also going to test it out, and then we'll see about it. Then I also came across this post, and I tried to, well, go a bit deeper on this. So the post says that Gemini already has a built-in OpenClaw style agent most people are sleeping on. It can browse, use Google tools, build slides, run recurring tasks, and handle way more than people realize. And someone commented that currently Gemini agent is only available for Google AI Ultra 3 and US English only. And well, it seems true because I asked Gemini over here. I have a pro account, so I asked it if it can run recurring tasks. So it said that it can't automatically run recurring tasks in the background, as I only respond when you prompt me. However, I can write automation scripts and that sort of stuff. And if you come over here, you see the difference. Let's uh, bring the video over here. You see it's written agent. If there's access, one can basically click on the agent over there, but over here I think we don't have the agent over here. So right now this is not available to worldwide users. It's available for US users. That's what I gather from this. But let's go back to this tutorial. This seems like it's using some prompt to generate a PowerPoint, which I think is pretty not so fancy, not so extreme use case. Many AIs would be able to do this. Interesting. So what it basically is doing is that it went to the Google Analytics. So it got access to the browser. It went over there. It scoured the analytics to collect the data which they sent forward for making the presentation. And as you see, this is the presentation over here. So this is like the key difference. We cannot do that with the current version that I have, the Google AI Pro, and this feature definitely seems like it's available to the US users as of now. If you are watching from US, do test it out and let the remaining of us know if it works for you. Now this is supposed to be the or one of the biggest updates from today or possibly this week. So Greg Brockman. So let me just show you who is Greg. You might recognize him from the face. So he's the president of OpenAI. So he gave an interview and he basically discussed about Spud, which is their GPT 5.5 version, which is possibly going to come out soon. So Greg Brockman said that I think of Spud as a new base, as a new pre-trained. I'd say it is like we have maybe 2 years worth of research that is coming to fruition in this model. Now, just imagine OpenAI taking 2 years behind this model. So this is definitely going to be something that is going to be powerful, and just couple that with the GPT-Image-2 model that they have coming out. This seems like the next updates that they are going to ship, they are going to be crazy insane. So Greg says that there's this thing called big model smell when these models are actually much smarter, much more capable, that they bend to you much more and you feel it. Okay, from these words, it seems like it's gonna be, well, more in tune with the user. And then he says that this big model smell a massive qualitative shift. The models stop being rigid and start intuitively bending to what you actually want them to do. That is what is required of them. And then the ceiling is completely raised. The new model will be able to autonomously solve complex open-ended problems and over a much longer period of time. Now, what made me excited about this was that these words, you see, this is not an incremental fine tune, like just improving the models, but is a completely new foundation built to accelerate the entire economy. That is just mind blowing. We have to look forward to it, and whatever the updates I'm going to share with you as they come out. And like I said, the AI landscape is changing very rapidly, and we have to keep up with it. You see, I would say we are among the first movers, and there's a bright future ahead. Although if someone comes in and starts taking this seriously after 1 year, 2 year, they would also do fine. However, if we want to just like fast track our progress and do it like not just like they said incrementally, but should I say exponentially, then just follow my channel, because I'm like a normal person doing a full-time job and then keeping a track of all this stuff and sharing it with you guys, or at least I try to. And with the time, We are gonna make it better. I'm gonna be sharing updates with you real time. I try to do so, and on my shorts, I've done that since a few days. And this long form also needs attention because we cannot afford to be left behind. And I think you also feel this, and that is our common point where we can meet. And hopefully, we'll meet in another video. Thank you so much. Stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Now, this handwritten note, this also seems quite realistic, like someone